Hetero Jessica, you destroyed it! Hetero Jessica, no! Weird. Okay, I have no idea why everything just crashed. I don't know, it just crashed. Why was I down there? Why the fuck did I load down there? Okay, I have no explanation for why the hell that happened. No explanation for why the hell that happened. Considering the rate Sarah's gone so far, there's maybe another hour left. I might be able to stall that long. Talk real slow. I'd like to ask you a few questions about Dr. Asher. Please answer them to the best of your ability. Right. Dr. Asher was a well-known public figure, but was he well regarded professionally? Of course. Dr. Asher's work set the bar for the entire automated dependent world. Stay focused, Spearmint. You say you coordinated his communications, but there are threats? Did people express an intent to harm him? I recently learned running OBS makes you feel like your computer is a baby with a cough that sounds a little too... Yeah, no, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Is my hand tracking? This fucking computer, dude. You do feel like once you get like set up and like OBS and all your things going, it feels like a house of cards. This is why it's like, oh, Gloop, why don't you update anything? Because I don't touch anything! Were there ever threats? Do people ever express an intent to harm him? Objection calls for speculation. Intent? I'm feeling like that's gonna be, sustained. Did anyone ever threaten him? There were times when he was the focus of negative attention. How so? Dr. Asher was a favorite subject of many conspiracy theorists. With all his contributions to the field, it was easy for them to make claims about his influence. They'd say his work was plagiarized, or that he was hiding illegal subcommands in the technology he helped develop. And people would contact him about these conspiracy theories. Relevance? Whether or not people wanted to kill him? Well, withdrawn. Miss Starling? People would attempt to contact him, yes. Their messages were always too vague for the police to take action on. They would say that he belonged in jail, or that he couldn't avoid the truth, or that someone should do something to shut him up. They ever talk about hurting him? Yes. But, I always turn those messages straight over to the police. Yeah, I'm seeing that on the record. Who writes this stuff? All those cases have long since been resolved, Your Honor. And none of the parties involved have had contact with David Asher in years. The police take harassment very seriously. Something you want to add, Counselor? Just clearing my throat. May I continue? You worked with Dr. Asher for many years. Did you have a relationship outside of work? Did you ever talk about anything besides professional concerns? Sure, we've gone out to dinner and met on the weekends. I think he liked to pick my brain since he needed relationship advice a lot. Even if he didn't realize that was what he was asking me for. I'd like to think he knew he could talk to me, but... Did he ever talk to you or to your knowledge anyone else about hurting himself? No, never. Do you know of any history you might have had with mental illness, depression, anxiety? No. So when you heard the people argue that Dr. Asher had done this to himself, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. You're saying that you can't believe— Objection! On what grounds? Asked and answered, stalling, and also the people have documents that would be of interest to the court in this matter. Juicy! And what matter specifically are you referring to? The deceased mental health history. Emma wouldn't be speaking up if she didn't have something real. What the hell is this about? We have private correspondences that describe... They're private. They should not have been obtained by the people without his permission. He can't give permission if he's already dead, and we're well within our rights to obtain evidence as it pertains to his crime. Convincing! Damn, I didn't honestly expect to stop her from admitting her evidence into the record, but I was hoping to at least slow her. Are you on that footage? 77%. Approximately. Whatever time I can, however I can. Even if that means running out the clock as a punching bag. I have messages here between Dr. Asher and a psychiatrist he was meeting with and speaking to for the past year, along with paperwork detailing how his treatment was covered under his Platinum plan. Platinum? Oh, it's his insurance policy, I see. Also, thank you for the follow. Oh, okay, I guess. But I am prepared to read excerpts from the messages and transcripts from phone calls, which, when put together, paint a clear picture of the kind of stress David Asher was experiencing and the dark thoughts he was struggling with. Transcripts of his phone calls? I'll admit them into evidence, assuming there are no objections. There's something strange about the evidence. Wait, what was up with this Platinum plan? I thought that he had like, yeah, didn't he have this? Peace out, Tengu. Yeah, wait, I thought that, wait, where did this other insurance plan come from? That's weird. No, that is weird. I'm pushing on that. Okay, I'm gonna push on it. I'll gladly object. On the grounds of foundation, where did you say you got this? Retrieved from his digital records. There's no reason to doubt its authenticity. Even if I were to point out that David had an executive level 4 plan, not a Platinum plan. Yay! What? Really? Really? Yes, really. It's all there in the record. This is easily explained. Sure, hit me with another funny. Fucking hetero Jessica crashing the stream. David had an executive plan that Noble managed for him. He was also seeing his psychiatrist, both in person and over the phone. Your own witness has attested that he dealt with stalkers and was worried for his privacy. So it's easy enough to reason that he has a separate insurance policy he paid for on his own. Even if only to keep one thing out of Noble's grasp. Sure, easy enough to make the assumption, but that doesn't make it correct. David used a separate insurance to hide a psychiatrist from Noble's spying? No, he was smarter than that. Wait, okay, let's think about this here. God, I'm so happy that there's a backlog. David had an executive plan that Noble managed for him. He was also seeing a psychiatrist, both in person and over the phone. Your own witness attested that he dealt with stalkers worried for his privacy, so it's easy enough to reason that he has separate insurance to solve for his own, even though they keep one thing out of Noble's grasp. He used a separate insurance to hide the psychiatrist from Noble spying? No, he was smarter than that. Oh, well, this is easy, because all of the phone calls are monitored by Noble, so he wouldn't be able to get away with that. Oh, by the way, this fucking thing down in the corner has a plus button on it, so I'm gonna click it a bunch. The funny was sounding Jess's name out. Jessica Starling? Yeah, I got dinged earlier. So yeah, the fact that the calls are recorded means that you wouldn't be able to hide it. David may very well have wanted a private psychiatrist, someone who didn't work for Noble, but his best interests at heart. But if so, he wouldn't have contacted them over the phone. Not when he knew all his phone calls were being recorded. David Asher was well-versed in having every aspect of his life overanalyzed by data-hungry parasites. Do you really think he would try and hide mental health problems from them with a second insurance policy? Apparently, yes, since I'm standing here with evidence that shows exactly that. Does it, though? Pardon me? Yeah, like, what exactly are you suggesting, counselor? I'm not done decrypting? Well, it's difficult to... Right. What the hell? Might as well swing for the fences at this point. I'm not trying to muddle the issue or confuse the court, Your Honor. And I would never make outlandish, unsubstantiated claims just for the sake of causing drama. What are you? I'm merely concerned that D.I. Rockford has been an unwitting pawn in an act of corporate espionage. What? If the markets were to open Monday with people believing that Dr. David Asher, the man who programmed the brain of every Noble android, was battling mental health issues for the last several months. Objection, mischaracterization, foundation to all the rest? There are no corporate spies in this courtroom, Your Honor, and there are no boogeymen hiding under the bench. Oh, thank God. David Asher was a once-in-a-generation intellect and an extremely valuable human asset to his employers. And his employers' many enemies would do whatever it takes to destroy his credibility now that he can't defend himself. And he was also your personal. You shouldn't be arguing this case in the first place, counselor. Now you're trying to call the police as evidence gathering into question? All because you can't admit for the past several months your friend has been seeing a psychiatrist every Monday and you didn't know? That is... sorry, but like... Did you still need me up here? The witness will refrain from interrupting when girls are fighting! Yes, ma'am. Oh, with how my luck's been so far, Sarah's progress bar is probably moving backwards right now. And Emma's patience is wearing thin. This could be my last shot to create any kind of reasonable doubt. I'd be happy to wrap up my questioning if the court will allow. Jess Starling, just stalling. Oh my God, we are. That's funny. That seems cool to me. And my evidence, Your Honor, will it be entered into the record? I'd like to hear a bit more about testimony before deciding. It's fine, Your Honor. As you were, counselor. At this stage of the game, with the score where it's at, I can probably only ask one more question. Better make it count. So what can Starling tell us that no one else could? If she hadn't called me this morning, I wouldn't be standing here, and she only did that because... Miss Starling, we're all gathered here to try and figure out what happened to Dr. Asher last night. So please tell us, when exactly did he last... HQ wouldn't matter. Yep, tiny elephant noise. It's time for tiny elephants. Let's go with... Well, the phones are bugged. The phones are bugged, so I'm gonna go with C. No, maybe I would go with contact. I'm gonna go with C. I'm trusting my gut. When was the last time that he and you... Problem, counselor? I get one chance here. I can't waste on frivolous questions. Just doing a vocal exercise. Oh, that was not it. Thanks so much. What a sweetheart. Unlike me! That was not it. Oh well. Duly noted. Alright, let me think through this a little bit better here. Miss Starling, we're all gathered here to try and figure out what happened to Dr. Asher last night. So please tell us, when exactly did he last... No, this is the one that matters. Okay. When was the last time you had contact with Dr. Asher, Miss Starling? Well, that's pretty easy to figure out. Let me just... Yeah, it was last night at 6:57 p.m. We texted back and forth. There are records from some texts, but they're flagged as work-related. Does the court really think they're relevant, Your Honor? Relevant. Wait, this guy was sending work-related texts, like... This game is good at stressing me out. I like it. Let's go with... Let me look at that backlog leading up to this. Wait, what was his time of death? And let's see, Winston's testimony, what was the time? Wait. June arrived at 7:30 p.m. Wait. Okay, no, so like right before she got there. Yeah, I'm gonna say that it matters because why would a guy who wants to kill himself be working until a few minutes before it happens? And quite possibly making plans. I don't know, I'm gonna raise an objection. I'm gonna go for it. The texting makes a big difference. It could very well be the single most important evidence in this whole trial. What? Ooh, I just got chills. Don't know why though. Must be a coolant wink. The defense doesn't know what they're talking about. On the contrary, these texts are a vital piece of evidence that change the timeline of events as we know them. We know what happened to David last night, generally speaking, but the order of events is critical, especially if Emma wants to make claims about David's state of mind. Select and place cards from your hand in the slots in chronological order, left to right. Oh, I get to make a comic. Okay, cool. Yeah, so here's the thing. Isaac called him first. Isaac called him first. And then, he and Starling were texting. And then Jung had a drink with him. Jung, I'm fucking that name up so bad. I fuck up all these names. Raise before you finish. I will. Max. And then he died. Yeah, no, that's it. That has to be it, because so this guy breaks up with his boyfriend and then keeps working and hanging out with people before he dies? That... Yes, that's it. Thanks to Miss Starling, we've now got a much clearer picture of the night's events. We know that Isaac Porter and David Asher broke up at 6:30 p.m. I was rooting for them so hard. And we know that David messaged his assistant, Miss Starling, at 6:57 p.m. David is on camera with the witness from 7:30 to 8 o'clock p.m., and he was declared dead not long after. The people don't object to that timeline of events. But we do question Counselor Morgan's reason for belaboring it. One last question, Miss Starling. Yeah? What was the nature of your conversation with Dr. Asher? Well, actually, we talked about you. And how he wanted you to have his android. That android. There. His affairs in order, I guess. It might appear that way. Can you specify what his instructions were? Exactly? How did he want this done? Well, he wanted me to bring you to his penthouse and help you get set up as the android's new owner. Yes, Miss Starling, but when did he want this to happen? Well, he said it was pretty urgent, so I should do it first thing Tuesday morning. Tuesday! Tuesday? First thing Tuesday morning. David Asher didn't like doing anything on Mondays. And was he going to be in attendance? He, well, actually, yeah, he said he would work from home to help us. No way he intended for us to have that much trouble getting to... Oh. Oh! To summarize, then, half an hour after he had already had his breakup and half an hour before his guest arrived, he was planning an appointment that would require his presence with you next Tuesday. That's right, he was. Not something you would think to do if you're planning on dying that very night. Hey, you're right. Your Honor, if Dr. David Asher was preparing for the week ahead a mere hour before he passed away, don't you think the people's assumptions about his mental state ought to be re-examined? Your logic is sound. Do the people have a rebuttal? If the court will allow just a moment. Oh, sounds like an opening to me. If we assume that Dr. Asher was not suicidal and therefore did not kill himself, we must then ask ourselves, who else had the means, motive, and opportunity to take his life? Until now, we've taken for granted his idea that the Delta must have come from his manufacturer, from inside the house. Adonai. But even if that's true, which it may not be, that doesn't mean he was the one who used the manufacturer. Adonai! Would you allow me one moment to confer, Your Honor? Sure, why not throw away your momentum? I'm in the middle of something, Sarah. I can't afford to let Rockford... I've gained access to the hard drive's files. What? Seriously? As I said, progress with the type of encryption is exponential. It can be difficult to estimate. Right, okay. Do you have the footage from last night? I have the file. Have you watched it? I thought you'd want to know right away. I suppose it doesn't matter. Either this is our silver bullet and we've got a case, or it doesn't and everything falls apart. That seems quite risky. It's the least risky path to victory we have. You know, it's the only path to victory we have. Screw it. Upload it to the court computer. Yes, Adonai. Thank you for your patience, Your Honor. I'm awake! And I'm getting a pretty hefty chunk of video data for breakfast. You're submitting security footage into evidence? New security footage? The police corroborated with the witness's testimony using the house's cameras. Security cameras installed by Noble as part of the penumbra system that showed the parlor, the kitchen, but not the basement. During the course of my investigation, I uncovered a hidden security system buried in the deceased's own home system. What? We have the updated autopsy report, motherfucker. The people say that the Delta must have been in Dr. Asher's cup because there's no other way for him to... Oops, I hit the button too fast. The people say that Delta must have been in Dr. Asher's cup because there's no other way for him to have ingested it, but we never saw him or anyone else put anything in his cup on camera. Because he must have poisoned his own drink off camera. Exactly. What? That's the only possible explanation, that he added the Delta to his drink off camera. He placed his cup inside the manufacturer, activated it, waited 2 minutes, and then walked upstairs to his death. But I'm about to present to the court footage retrieved from his basement. Footage that will show by the time he retrieved the cups in the basement, it was already past 7:38, meaning he didn't have the opportunity to poison himself. One clip of footage will prove all that? If it doesn't, I'm completely screwed. Not like I can lose a preliminary hearing extra hard. Anything other than a royal flush here means I'm bust. Better be the Joker who dances. The data has been entered into the court record. Sarah, show us when Dr. Asher entered the basement. Yes, Adonai, I'll search for it now. Here. On screen. That's the bar, and the timestamp is 7:36. There, Dr. Asher's grabbing the bottle of Rose River. And leaving. 7:37. Just under the wire, as it were. Is that in? I came this far just to... Wait. Did he have the cups with him? Is there sound? None at all. Keep going. If he had to go back to get the cups... Sorry. What's that android doing on camera? It's at the bar. Sarah poisoned him. Sarah poisoned him. The android gave him the cups. Shit. That machine never stepped on cameras upstairs. Not once. We don't know its whereabouts on the day of his death. It could have poisoned the cup whenever it wanted. Shit. What is this? I don't understand. Your Honor, have the courtroom cleared. Understood. But please, someone. I don't know what's going on. Sarah, you need to shut down. Please, tell me what I'm looking at. I don't remember any of that. Do we have callers available? Sarah, shut down now. Adonai, please tell me what That's an order. Is it off? Yeah, it's off. I've seen this before. It won't do anything until I reactivate it. We don't know that. We don't know anything about this thing anymore. That's... Your Honor, in light of this most recent evidence, the people would like to withdraw their charges against Dr. Asher and end this preliminary hearing. It has been made abundantly clear that Dr. David Asher did not commit suicide. Very well, the charges are withdrawn and the defendant is free to go. Well, as free as he can be in the afterlife. This case is dismissed. Congratulations, Counselor Morgan! Here, check out another victory for Morgan Esquire. Now all I have to do is deal with the shitstorm of the decade! Well, I managed to prove that David didn't kill himself. And in the process, I proved his android did. I proved that the android that's been walking around with me all day is capable of murder. Killer robot. A true, unbound AI with military-grade specs and at least one death to its name already. So much for avoiding the public eye. Thank you for coming here on such short notice, Judge Barrows. MILF! Ah! As if I'm doing you some kind of favor. I didn't realize I had any choice in the matter. This isn't some bad joke, is it, Miss Rockford? I'm afraid not, Your Honor. You know, I like the adjutants. I always have. They deal with criminal trials so that bookish, quiet, contemplative people like myself can spend all day tying up arguments for obscure little treatises. That's what I like to do. I like coming down here and dealing with all this heavy-handedness. Won't someone toiling away under the police state think of the poor bureaucrats? And I certainly don't like making rulings on anything as spicy as AI. She can barely bring herself to say it. And you, Counselor Morgan, you're the one it's registered to? That's correct, Your Honor. So what did it do, exactly? Torture an animal, shut down a hospital, crash a coin market? We have it on camera poisoning a man. Killing its creator. You mean Dr. Asher? That is... We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long. What we can do is try to wrap it up quickly. Let's make case. Adjutant, do you have the case number? Case ID is 247177. 8 docket numbers. Why did it... Oh, thank you. Can you repeat that? YT943188282. I think I lost you after the first 8. I have it copied here. What are the security procedures of an incident of this nature? A data quarantine is to be established around any networks the subject is exposed to for more than 66 seconds. All offending hardware is to be destroyed immediately through incineration at a medium temperature. Sorry, Spearmint. There's nothing to be done. No debate to be had. This isn't even a decision. Sorry, Sarah, not Spearmint. David gave you that name. I should at least make the effort to use it. That sounds very hot. Do we have furnaces that get that hot? Of course, there are a number of industrial furnaces within city limits that I could recommend. Sorry. I'd be sorry anyway. Oh, she's gonna crash out! I fulfilled the request. Favor repaid. I don't know Sarah anything, especially not if they killed my friend. Right, Morgan? I'm sorry? I was just saying how grateful I am that we have the procedures for this kind of thing all laid out already. Yep, keeps things nice and simple. It can feel somewhat severe going through these steps so quickly, but nothing, Your Honor. Artificial intelligence is perhaps the greatest threat to human civilization and the sanctity of life there's ever been. Any piece of software, big or small, no matter the vessel, if it can violate the tenets it is programmed with, it has potential to cripple our nation in a matter of moments. Yes, couldn't have said it better myself. Straight from the textbook, almost. Well, I mean it. Monsters like that don't belong in this world. Castlevania motherfucker. They should never have been born in the first place. Destroying them is a kindness. And if anyone's to blame, it's... No one's blaming you, Counselor. You couldn't have known you're in possession of an AI. Talking too much. Probably just tired. It's been a long day and I have A lot of thoughts. Sorry, Sarah. Wherever you are. You were just born wrong. Not your fault, necessarily. We're up to me. You get points for trying. Major projection. Hyper mega ultra projection. Trying to be something more. Trying to be something at all. Or anything other than what you are. It was stupid, of course, and futile. That's not green hair! That's not green hair! And pointless spending hours in front of a TV or laying in bed staring at your phone. Watching stupid movies and trying to paper mache an ill-fitting mask of humanity with the scraps you could tear out of magazines. Practicing expressions and memorizing lines. Oh! This footage we saw before was never! We never saw Sarah in this shot. Trying to get something to take root and grow, despite knowing you have nothing to feed on. Stupid. Morgan? What was that, counselor? I said objection. And what are you objecting to? What are you doing, Morgan? I'm a defense attorney. This is what I do. I understand you've been a lot through these past few hours, counselor, but there's nothing to defend. On the contrary, Your Honor, I have to defend myself. Pardon? You can say that this android Sarah is an AI because it broke its tenets. Obviously. And you believe it broke its tenets because of this newly discovered footage that appears to show it committing murder via poison. All true, and no laws broken on your part. Here it comes. Never thought I'd be incriminating myself in the courtroom just to make a point. Don't you dare try and entrap me on this. Prosecutor, I have a gun! Oh, my hand tracking isn't working. No, it's Sarah's papers. It's Sarah's papers. I'm supposed to say, I'm the owner of the robot. I'm the one on trial here, and I'm self-representing. That's the only way out of this one. I have to be accused of murder and prove I didn't do it. That's the way that this is going. Bet maximum. Sarah's papers down. I hope I'm fucking correct. Boom. It's pretty simple, actually. If the state is making the claim that Sarah is an AI, they're accusing me of committing a felony because I'm the legal owner of that android. The hell are you doing? And if the state wants to charge me with owning an AI, I will not take that lying down. I know my rights. Counselor, your argument is self-defeating. Listen to yourself, counselor. You claim that Sarah is just an android, a product that will be obsolete within a year. But you've only known it for a few hours. You've only owned it for a matter of minutes. And yet here you are risking a felony charge to save it from being demolished. Because you're wrong. No, you wouldn't care. Not unless this android was something special. Look at us. Me arguing that I'm guilty and Emma arguing that I'm a softie. It'd be funny if it wasn't so. Fun! You think there's no reason I want to save this android from destruction? Other than feelings of personal attachment? I'm gonna bring up that this thing is worth a fortune. We're about to lose $1 gazillion in property. Big money, baby. This robot's worth a fortune. $1 more gillion. Boom. I can think of at least one reason why I don't want you to turn Sarah into slag. One very convincing reason. Or a very convincing number. What is that? That number is Sarah's estimated financial value on the collector's market. You've got to be. I got it from an insurance evaluation algorithm. They're designed to lowball you. That does seem like a reasonable incentive for you to want to keep your android intact. It's a free country, Your Honor. I have a right to defend myself. And we have a free market. I have a responsibility to defend my financial interests. Your Honor, a trial like this would be... I'm not going to let you turn this courtroom into a circus, Morgan. You can't spend the next half-decade bringing in expert after expert to testify on your philosophical distinctions, AIs and ads, spiraling into appeal after appeal, all while the media... This machine appears to have willfully killed a man. The public needs answers now. Of course, Your Honor. I have neither the desire nor the resources to get into a drawn-out battle with the state over what constitutes an illegal machine intellect. So? The state says my android, my property, killed a man in violation of its tenets, so they want me to take my property and destroy it. I'll prove that my machine didn't harm anyone, so the state will have no reason to suspect it's an AI, and I'll get to keep my property. Unlawful seizure thwarted. It'll be cute. I feel a stomach ulcer coming on. Fine. You'll have your day in court, but it'll be one day. Tomorrow. Prove that this machine didn't kill Dr. Asher. No, prove that he couldn't have killed him. Anything less than absolute proof, and I'll have the damn thing obliterated, and you'll be looking at a very real sentencing for the public unrest you'll have enabled. Yes, Your Honor. Dear Rockford, what I'm asking of you is just as heavy. Find the truth by the end of tomorrow. We can't settle for anything else. Win or lose, there can be no doubts about the outcome of this case. Yes, Your Honor. And now I need to go lie down. Can I come? You can power down. Woo! Okay, we are saving right there because my throat hurts. But like, holy shit, dude. Holy shit, dude. Well, that's a fun way for this to work. Wowie zowie. Okay. My throat is dying. We have shit to do in the morning, so I gotta tap out because it's almost midnight. Morgan's coming back next Wednesday. If you like Morgan, she will be back next Wednesday, that's for sure. I am streaming on Friday. We're gonna be doing Shantae. And this game has been kicked down the road for like a month. I'm so sorry, but we're actually gonna do it. Finally. And also, I don't know what day it'll be next week. I will let you all know. Watch Discord, watch Blue Sky, I'll say one of there. My little application, my little interactive code thingy that I've been working on in the background. I would love to give it a test drive on stream. I think it's ready. It might explode. And we're not at the phase where we're doing like, fun games with it, but I've worked hard on this thing, so hopefully it actually cooperates with everybody. So we'll give that a little test run. I'll let you know exactly what day. Morgan for sure is Wednesday. We're going to be very consistent with our Morgans. She's coming back Wednesday. But keep your eyes peeled. Let's find somebody to raid into. Let's find somebody to raid into. I don't think we can raid Gloop Queen because I'm Gloop Queen. We can't raid Gloop Queen twice. That sounds sickening. I want to go over to Sneb. Okay, we're doing Sneb. Holy moly, what a goddamn game, though. Okay, we're going over to Sneb. Behave yourselves. We're meeting the devil next week. What a game, what a game, what a game. It's a good game. It's a good-ass game. Please come back next Wednesday so we can all hang out and do this because I need to find out what happens next. I feel like I'm literally like a little kid again being like, ooh, I want to stay up and read, but I want to find out what happens next. Great writing, excellent story, fun little roller coaster. They're kicking ass with this. We're going over to Sneb. I'll see you kids over there.